Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Today on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, the visiting bowler, Jeff Little out of Harvard Lanes in Massachusetts, takes on the home bowler, Paul Metivier, here at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Good luck, bowlers. It's a 5-string match, 5 strings, 5 boxes at a time here on the ACST. The lanes aren't turned on just yet, but now they are. Well, the scoreboard's on anyway, and now we are underway. If you're new to Candlepin Bowling, a very special welcome to you. It plays the same as big ball, except you get 3 small balls rather than 2 per frame. And any pins dropped on the plate stay on the plate and can be used as live wood. Jeff to get underway on lane 29 here at Leda. Pressure to be here. First box lands in the 2-pin, mixing a bunch of sticks, and he's got the 1-3 for a spare try. Strikes are rare, a game of spares, you all know that. On the outside of the head pin, Wood glancing the 3 from behind for a spare. Jeff waiting for a ball return gives me a chance to do some divisional standings for you all. Here's the implications of what we're playing for. Jeff Little, you see in the top left, 4 divisional winners and 4 wildcard seeds will advance. So take a look at the top left here, and we see that Jeff Little on 114 and 82 cannot lose the division lead tonight. And I should hasten to add that the points are 2 for winning each of the 5 strings, each of the 5 games, and 4 for total. Sorry, the balls still aren't back. I'll keep this here. So even if Jeff gets skunked here, he would go to 114 and 96 and still be 5 ahead of Stephen Post for the divisional lead in this 15th of 18 weeks. As that starting spare to begin his string, he's still waiting for the balls to come back. In the bottom left, Paul Metivier, just by virtue of being in the same division as John Alosa, has no chance of winning the division. I mean, look at the Class B champion there, 157 and 53, nearly a 75% points win rate there. But on the wild card side of things is where it gets interesting. For Paul Metivier, if he goes 7-7, or which would be funny except for the fact that he actually did do it against John Cadiro just below him. If he went 8-6 though, he would be exactly tied with Stephen Post for a wild card. If he goes higher, he can start challenging Dominic Palladino and Justin Ruggiero from the Class C championship, the Class C champion to be clear, for the higher up in the wildcard standings. If he goes lower, if he goes closer to 0-14, John Cadiro could start running him down. Over to Little now, his spare fill is just 2, the half Worcester. Alongside me as well, intermittently, is Kevin Burns. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Greg. Oh, nice. Well, how about banana split?
How about that?
You know,
Running joke we have with Casey McCool out of Lakeside Lanes, Manchester. And a nice third ball for 8.
that's a good out. Spare 2 for 12, 20 after 2.
Yep, we'll have to do the running scores this time.
It's kind of hard to do it without your regular setup, isn't it, Greg?
Hey, worth the grind. Don't worry about me. I've got the easy part. Jeff Little's got this pronounced cross-lane delivery. Really goes over to the right side, but delivers it from a similar angle to Metivier. We'll see in a moment. He's got the 7-9-10 split.
Do you remember on Saturday when Aaron Fontaine made this shot?
And that was wild. Little's got a bit of a wood puzzle, but it's in different spots this time. He'll go right, stays on the lane, across it goes.
Oh, what a
there! Nice shot, toss across for his second mark in 3 boxes.
What a shot. What a shot. Played that on the right side. Went right to left. 7 the last pin to go. What a shot.
Nico!
Nico, take a shot of that one.
Clearing the wood out here, 30 and a ball through 3. Jeff Little comes in with a 110 average. ACST has a lot of great statistics, including the ones Micah Imperato keeps unofficially, yet lovingly. He's left an average of 47 pins standing on the plate, averages about 3 1/4 marks per string, and he's already got a couple in just the first 3 boxes. About to fill another spare. Here he comes in frame 4 on the head pin. Strike on spare.
There's a big 20. Nothing wrong with that. Bury the 1-2-3 pocket and boom, they go.
40 through 3, 50 plus 2 through 4. So on a strike fill here, remember, 110 average bowler. Jeff Little has been eager to show how much he's been improving. His dream is to make a world's roster one day. And he's just getting better and better, as evidenced by the fact he leads his B division. This is still mixing, it's the 2-4.
He's also trying to get into the Friday Night Pro League as well.
Not far off it, he's a 110 average. John Alosa on a 113 average.
Oh, 8 on the strike.
Is already on a team, Central 2. And there's the third ball, it's 9, 67 half. There we go, we see it here. Paul Metivier getting up now in lane 29. You see the bullseye indicating the split, that ring around, and then 2 more dots for the head pins. And then the rest is just gravy. 67 at the half.
How many head pins left up?
Paul Metivier. Off target to start. He's got the 4 horsemen on the 9.
Also known as the Cleary.
Even the New Hampshire bowler knows that Massachusetts reference. Although from Worlds, in fairness, his shot, spare! Off the wall to take the 9.
Mashing Spears. Paul knows what he has to do, Greg. He has to bury the pocket, stay on number 1, and hopefully, and just let the pins do the talking. That's all you gotta do.
5 strings, 5 boxes at a time. He's matched Little's spare from the first one. Little got 2 on his. Paul's got 6, 7, 8 on his.
The 7-10 split got 2 pieces of wood. One where the 5 pin will be and one right up against the 10 pin.
Well, the right piece is just slamming into the 10. What about the left one?
You gotta try and find the red line. It's the only way you're gonna take it.
Let's see. That's Paul's try at it. He hits the red line, but no.
Oh, it's coming back.
Here comes wood.
Not enough steam, Greg.
Add an 8 for that first ball on the spare. 10 in a ball, in other words. That's how you score spares in bowling. And now a perfect 10 box.
He's up 8 in the match so far.
At this very early stage. Remember the ACST, we play for match points. Those determine the standings. 2 points to the winner of each string, 4 for total.
And 1 point if you tie. Like a regular league format.
Metavier's on the head pin again. Guess what?
Another 7-10 split. I don't know where I played this one. I mean, there's nothing covering the 7 pin.
Yeah, both pieces are wood by the 10.
I'm probably going to try and shoot this on the cap and see what happens.
On the junction of it, I guess it's a cap in a manner of speaking. Well, more on the broad side of it, so not quite.
Played more on the red line, but the ball came back, went right behind the 7 pin.
So a couple of splits here, a couple of quality 10s out of them.
2 pro 10s in a row. Ball kind of slipped at the line there.
.38 through 3, that's 2 back box to box, and now against the strike. So really against that 20 box. Metivier needs at least 1 more mark to match pace. That's 67 half. It's a stellar start for Little, who's had the slowest start in the first string. I've noticed his average has been lowest in string number 1 this season.
Just for that time, he was at the head pin.
1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9 from Paul. Metavier's try, in there buried. Nothing goes into the 5-8.
Good. Did you tell our viewers about April 20th?
April 20th, done it before, I'll do it again. Coming up, the Easter Classic on Sunday, April 20th. That would be Easter Sunday, in case you're not clear on the concept. As we get a 10 box here again, and Paul is pinned perfect.
He's 2 for 4 on the head pin.
Yep, getting splits both times. Easter Classic, an annual 20-string tradition competition here at Leda Lanes.
And I kind of feel bad that I had to leave you for the day.
Ah, phooey, don't be. Diamond Center in the 610.
Plus,
And
this isn't bad.
it's all
right
intact.
through it.
But he's into the
No.
3-pin, and Paul misses this one. 48 through 4, still a chance to go 10 and pin perfect on this one. Yes, Nico would love to cover some playoff matches. That's coming up. Right now, it's week 15 of 18. Not quite on the head pin, and the first one standing. Metivier 57 at the half. Opposite, Little 67.
Not bad, 10 pins down. He was 4 for...
Quick look as Jeff gets set on the other lane. And there you see it.
He was 4 for 4. He was 4 for...
2 head pins hits.
Yeah, so he was 2 for 3 on the head pins, but...
Yep, it's a little got one extra on that one. That 20 box looming large at the moment. About as large as the gentleman himself. Lane 30, he switches over as ever.
I'm leaving that one alone.
Couldn't resist. Off target on this one.
Takes out the 4-7-8 triangle.
His progression tends to follow a bell curve in terms of his average by string. Back on the head pin, no, nothing doing on the 3-6.
Well, like we said in the open, Paul's fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah, he goes up from 1 through 3 and then back down slightly from 4 to 5. Nice 10.
77 at the 6.
Remember, Jeff Little plus 10 at the half. So a good 2-mark advantage as he tries to get the first 2 of the 14 match points available. 2 for string, 4 for total. Into the head pin crossover. He's got the 4. No, guess what? He's got the 7-10 unless the wood takes something. It doesn't. And we seem to have our house leave du jour here at Leda Lanes. He'll try to snap something off the wall violently into the right tip of it, and nothing went across. On 10 pin, that's going to go out of the gutter, I'm afraid, so that pin doesn't count. It's 9. '86 through 7. Kevin Burns will be in and out on this broadcast as he's got a league in progress here on those lanes over yonder on the left. Meanwhile, Jeff Little takes out the 2, 4, and 10. Last time I covered him was a playoff match, in fact, against Ty Clark at Central Park Lanes. Jeff was the victor in that one. Full on the head pin, and he's got a tough one to work out of. The 3, 6, 7, and 9. As getting sliced to the 6 pin. 7 pins hit but will not fall, and it is 7.
Yeah.
So 3 more pins standing. He's left 7 on the plate already. But still a chance if he gets a couple of 10 boxes to get 113. In so doing, would still force Metivier to mark once. Maybe more if Little can find a 4th mark. He's already got 3. That's good going. And he's got this head pin, and he's got a naked 5 pin. What's going to disappear out back? So, like I said, nothing around. His try. Oh, just left it a little short. And the chance goes begging. Could have had his 4th mark there. A 120 start would be big, and he's still got time to do that. Gets it 1 either side to leave the stick, and that's 9. (102 through 9). This head pin now scoring correction. It looks as though he's got an 8 box in the 8th, so actually he'll be on 94. We'll correct that. Oh, look, a 7-10 in the 10th box. 102 so far through 9. Trying to grab a piece of his middle wood. He didn't get either one to go. Note to self, I'll have to move the angles slightly, I suppose. Little takes 9. 111 for the string, 111. Paul Metivier is a 57.5, so he requires at least 1 mark to run down Little. If he does, a 5 fill would be sufficient and perfect pitting. If he gets 9 boxes, he may need a second one. Thanks to Paul Grant for a tip on this one. Paul Metivier used to have a 119 average back at the end of the previous century. Has a 108.1 average now. Jeff Little tends to get just a few more head pins than him per match, per Micah Imperado's stats. Of course, also helpfully collected by the bowling community as well. But it's pretty even on paper right now. Waiting for the pin setter. It looks like a full rack to me. I'm not entirely certain what the issue is this time around. But that's right. He is a 112. That's right. Jeff Little is a 112, excuse me. So, a bit of a pin setter delay here. One more look here at the score sheet as it should be. So, really, this should be 94, that should be 103, and that should be the 112. And then that's confirmed. For Metivier, for Little side of things, excuse me. Greg Gouillart with you live from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Metivier on a 57.5 will look to get another mark here. He may be able to do this with just 1 more mark. Now look at the division standings and what we're playing for today. Jeff Little cannot lose this divisional lead, but remember, there's 14 match points on offer. If he were to lose all of 14, for example, Jeff would still be 5 ahead of Stephen Post with a 114-96 record. So anything more than that is just gravy for him as we approach the final 3 weeks of the season. 18-week season. First 3 are within your division of 4, so that's this B North 1 would play each other in a round robin. Last 3 weeks are also within your division, and then the remaining 12 weeks within everyone in the other 3 divisions in your class and conference. Class B being the second highest bunch of averages to Class A, and a rapidly expanding league that's expanded all the way to Class F. For Paul Metivier, you saw the bottom left, John Alosa's got the division locked up, but far from it for the wild card. If he goes 7-7, he's or something close to that, he's in a horse race with Stephen Post, who will be watching this match with quite some interest, I think. His try on a 57.5, crushed. Didn't get iced by that pin center delay, 5-9. Mike sits right there. I'm not convinced it's covering the 9, though. He got on the red line, and the ball did deflect away. Oh, dear. Gonna take a hike here. Sorry, folks. Is this the right idea? No, not at all. That's a terrible idea, Gregory. We'll get more to this angle instead. And after that dizzy cam footage, we got a 10 box for Paul Metivier. $67. If it's all 10 boxes, he loses by 5, so he must mark at least once in the next 4. His try on it. Crossed over, left the king and the 9. Same leave. This time, though, where's this wood going to go? It's still a little perilous, I tell you what, and he's throwing his hand up as well. I think he recognizes that wood's not perfect. But let's see where he decides to go this time. He's gone all the way across on this one and misses it altogether. 3 boxes to go after this to get that mark. Still a chance to grab a couple pins here. He grabbed the 10 box the last time. Now the ball deflects away, so guess what? It wasn't there. 9 box, 76 through 7. He's still basically down 10 box to box. Little gave away a few pins, but still. Paul on 76, which is official, by the way, 76 through 7. He still requires 1. He's had his head pin the last 2. Lost it this time, but has a pretty decent one, especially if the 7 gets over. It doesn't. It's the 1, 2, 7, 8. See, it's a cross-lane delivery, too, but he goes towards the center of the lane. Overthrows the face of it. He's got the 1-8. That pin leaning over is down. 2 boxes remaining for the home bowler. Home bowler chooses lane order and turn order. He wanted to finish on the right side. He's got 9. $85 through 8. It's going to require a lot. He may need a strike instead of a spare at this stage. I'm not convinced of that. Little is 112. Metivier 85 through 8. Ball's 9th box. Into the head pin full this time. 3 and 2 split. There is wood right in front of the 3-pin, though. Can he get a ball to deflect favorably this time? Let's see. His try. Got on the broadside of it. Boy, you know, the deflection of that ball looked like it was the cap, but I'm not so sure about that. I think it was just a rotten bounce. And now he's getting stuck with this for the 3rd ball. Overthrown, it's 8. He grabbed a pin, but now he needs 19 to tie and 20 to win. Even a mark, though, could keep this match close. The 4 points at stake. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for whoever wins total pinfall for the 5 strings. Metivier locked in a horse race with Stephen Post in the wild card. Has the 1-3-6. Wood's not going to come this way. In fact, it's going to go that way. And that's all he's got to look at. For the last box to stay in it. In this first string, anyway. 1-3-6. Has a chance. He's off the wall and in front of the 6-pin. Jeff Little survives and takes the first 2. Nice 10 there out of it. Well, there we have it through the first string. Oh, so close. Nothing after that first box after all, but Paul had a couple of good looks, including a couple of pesky 5-9s there. But especially that 20 box by Jeff Little gives him the first 2 points you see there as we go into the second string of 5 here at Leda Lanes in Nashua. Jeff Little last week, as he steps up on lane 29, was 12-2 versus Justin Ruggiero. Class C champion, recently upgraded to Class B. He's got the 4 horsemen and 8. It was a 553 to 473 victory in said 12-2. We've already established Jeff gets stronger as he goes. He's missed the head pin twice this time. Got the 1-8. Collects the head stick and gets just that for 9. Had 6 head pins in the last string, 4 of them splits. Paul Metivier, 5 head pins and 3 splits. Splits as always, implying the head pin as it is in bowling. Speaking of, 5 and 1. His try. Just ripped out the 6-pin. That's going to complicate the 3rd ball. It'll left it out there. It's left it out a couple times. Bound to happen over the course of the 50 boxes then again. Needs an out. In there, that's not bad. That's going to send the wood and get more than half. Maybe more if it comes forward. Just 8. Saw a couple of good mix there. It's a real zip Little gets as he delivers it from the side of the lanes. I don't mean to compare caliber to Hall of Fame and jump the gun here, but it's very reminiscent of Steve Reno's Senior's angle of attack. He's got it to the head pin this time. It's the 9-pin and a wiggling 10. 8-10 for another split.
Got a piece of wood up front, Greg.
I agree, Kevin. I think that front wood can spin. Into the red line, though, not enough torque on it. He needs to go this way or that, doesn't he?
More on the cap, because you want to try and helicopter it.
Into the cap. Goodness, that was nearly 10. Huh. He does leave the 10 pin after all. He's going to check on this wood. It's rolling. Come on, you're hit. It's not.
It was hit, but not high enough.
Not even close in the end, but why hit the button if you're not sure? They give you all the time in the world, apart from we'd like to be home in time for bed. Why not use the time?
I bet you wish you were home in bed right now, right?
Nonsense. I'm having a great time. 6-10, good hit. It is a long drive from Middlesex County, Mass to up here, but I don't mind one bit. In there. Oh, no, but the wood deflects in front. No spare. Little markless for the first 4, even though he's been crushing the head pin the last 3. Gets a 10. 36 through 4.
He has a good sized lead.
9 pins after that first string. Giving Paul Metivier a chance here in this going. He's busted this one up for the 6 pin. I'm glad I have the overhead Cubica technology to double check myself. Got the little pin spotter graphics up there. And a spare. His first. One for the seat, as they say. 46 in a ball at the half. There we go. Head pin consistency getting it done. Paul Metivier averages about half a mark less per string. But he was right in the thick of it. Had a lot of chances at the end there to run this down, and he still could here. Here they mix, and it's a 5-pin with a plank.
My favorite shot, Greg. Give me a 5-pin with a plank any day of the week.
The candy bar. Michael, took me about an hour to get here, if you're curious. He covers. I don't know what compelled me to put the spare smudge on the total side for first box. That's what a lot of people do, but that's not usually how I do it. Crushed again, and suddenly
18.
dialed all of a sudden.
2 for 2 on the head pin in this string so far, Greg.
And 2 for 2 on starting with 18s. 6-10. He yanked it to the left, though, and it's missed.
He knew it from the second he threw it.
Just the littlest things in bowling. You just have that little bit of a hang-up in your hand. That's more of the ball he wanted.
And that's what Paul Graham special. Make it the second, hit it the third.
Missed the second, make the third. Never a good time for that.
Tell me about it. I had the same thing.
But it is 28 for 2, and basically an identical start to the last string. Metevier's third try. Almost made it there. He's got 4 horsemen and a 10 pin, which is decidedly easier than 4 horsemen left on a 9.
He has a piece of wood up against the 2 and the 4. That should cover the 10. If he
2 right to left.
Yeah, it didn't. It went straight back.
Sorry to step on you there, Kevin. I was just going to say he throws right to left and has a tougher pocket to access. 110. Doesn't grab either for 8.
With some up 10 for the string.
Jeff Little has the first 2 match points. He came in with a 9-pin lead. Metevier's already matched the 1 mark Little put up this time, so now with another one in the next 2, he could start chipping away. Got his head pin again, but a split the results, unless the 4 pin is favorable. Where's the wood going? Into the 7, but it won't bust up. And the right one's causing mischief too. Well,
6, 7, 10. All the wood is to the 7 pin. He's going to have to get this to jump.
yeah, luckless that it didn't go to the right. Can he ride the rails? Can he cut it over? Nothing comes off the wall. Not really, anyway.
A little more power on that ball, Greg. He probably would have jumped. Good 10.
Quality 10 again. .46 through 4. Now again, he may still have the lead because Little has not filled his spare. Metivier has, and he crushed 8. And he still has a box to go. Into the 5th box. One for the seed, and how about a strike for the seed?
There's a bomb.
56 plus 2 at the half. Metivier is definitely ahead.
Oh, there's a bomb. What a time for that. Perfect time for that.
Let's see that again. No.
We don't have the replay.
Old habits die hard, don't they?
All good things come to an end, Greg.
Look at it. Never forever. 46 in the ball at the half for Little. 56 plus 2 for Metivier, so the 10-pin reversal in effect. We've got a close match. Little on a spare, diamond left.
2, 4, 5, 8. This is what behind the 5 pin. Oh, you got to be a little full on this, but not too full.
He crossed over on it and rang around it.
Now play Bring Around the Rosie.
Ashes, ashes. Why didn't they all fall down? 10.
Picked up the tools.
Gate 10's here. You never know which pin's going to be the winner. 62 through 6. Jeff Little's season high this year is a 151 single and a 616 through 5. All time, he has a 183 and a 665.
Up the mark. Face out the 285.
Yep. Clipped out a side saddle triangle in effect. Can still blow this out. The pocket's available, but he's fanned the slot, and he's going to need a third ball.
Guy overthrew that one.
Third ball. Buried this. I thought. No, it's full, and it's 4.
Top 4 box. Don't you hate that, Greg? You have a nice setup. You just have to hit the number 1. You hope for a splash, and you just punch out the number 1.
50-box matches give a lot of scope for something like that to happen. It took a long time before it did. Still time to results.
Well, this time he's going to have a second opportunity, but go 5 pin with this. It's the full horseman right with the 4-7.
And similar situation, similar second ball this time, though.
But this time he took out the headpin on the second ball. Now he has a 3 and 2 split.
But he has that third ball. That's the critical part. And he sliced it across for a 9, maybe 10. Goodness gracious, what an out that is by Jeff Little.
Oh, you got the pin to wiggle. Jeff is going to need a market to get his average.
75 through 8. There's no way he can. If he doesn't get a mark, there's no way he can win this right now. He probably needs a couple to have a fighting chance. 4 horsemen.
Not anymore.
That's the 4. Yeah, we got a
1, 2, 7. No wood.
Little came in with 9 pins. Now Metivier with the advantage. Little to run this 1, 2, 7 maybe, but again the head pin seems magnetized to the curtain.
He's a little full. He has to make an adjustment, and he knows that.
He really has that angle on the ball as well. I thought he could. Now he's thin on it. He's got 9.
When you needed to be thin the first ball, he was full. But when he had to be full on the second ball, he was thin.
And trust us, they know that. 84 through 9. Metivier 56 plus 2 at the half. So even if he shanks the strike bill, he's likely to win. Little, here comes the wood. Doesn't take the 4 as it got tripped up in the boneyard.
This isn't bad. I like the wood. If he plays, the wood is a guide to the 10 pin.
It's only 2 pins again. Off the cap, he spares!
What a shot. What a shot. Nico, take a shot at that.
Did you expect that one, Kevin? I thought he would play broadside of the wood.
I thought he would play more cap on it because it was a guide. But he played it on the red line from what it looked like. Well, it's kind of hard when you don't have the replay.
Alas, Not in the moment anyway, but we'll re-upload this later on Candlepin Bowling Network. You're watching this live on Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour on Facebook. His field gets away, but it's mixing again, and he's got 6 for a 100 on the dot.
It brings him to 212 for 2.
There we are. So again, the situation, Metivier, who came in down 9 in the string, now has a big chance to come back in here. Even if he blew the strike fill, but got 10s all the way, he would have 106. So very probable he will win this string in the next 2 points. If he gets more, then he starts challenging for the match lead.
Down 9 going into this string.
Metivier on a strike. Dropped it more to the right than he's used to. He's got the 4 horsemen.
4 horsemen on the left side. 1, 2, 4, 7.
And he's right again on his drop, and he's got the 1 and 2.
Was 8 on the strike for a 64 half.
12 ahead at the half. So at the half, he's taking the match lead. $9. That's fine. Greg Gouillart alongside Kevin Burns here at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Pleasure to be here with some sadness as well, considering Leda's uncertainty about the future of their location. Frankly, they've put a really good letter up on the Leda Lanes Facebook page, which if you haven't had the chance to read, it's worth your while. It explains the situation far better than we could. Split 6, 8, 9, 10.
I had something similar to this when I was just bowling, Greg. But I had a piece of wood, and I hit the wood, but I only got 2 out of the 4.
Just on the lane over yonder, yeah?
Yeah.
Tries a triangle, here it comes, but not enough gas for the 8. Or fuel, or apparently some vehicles run on cooking oil, go figure.
And some vehicles just run on battery. There's a 10.
Metivier's hardly running on fumes. Tell you what, that 10's going to keep him ahead. If he gets 10s all the way, it's 113, and he would win by 13. Metivier took 22 of 36 points, 22 of 42 that would be in his division. So it'll be very interesting as it comes down to the last 3 weeks of the season, how these bowlers do. We'll recap that divisional situation if my old noggin can get it together after this string.
4 horsemen plus the 7 pin. Plays number 1. Oh, that piece of wood, the headpin went right between the 6 and 10.
Ain't that the way? The ball can pass through the gap. The pin can pass through the gap. Ball having to ride the rails. Look at that for a 10.
What a shot. That was beautiful.
You can only give that one a 10, but that's a beauty. 6, 7, 10. And it's 93 through 8. The last time these two bowlers met, Paul, it was Jeff Little who won by 2 stinking pins, 566 to 564. This one's crushed for a strike, and now Paul Metivier's pulling way ahead.
10 pin the last to go, Greg.
Got to write a bunch of ink on the score sheet after that one. That's not a broken pin setter, by the way. That's Leda Lane's way of saying, I'm resetting right now. I dropped the sweep to acknowledge the fact you hit the button. But you're crushing the pins too darn quick. I need a moment.
Well, it does take a man for the machine to roll.
Of course.
As a former mechanic, I should know that.
There is a reset light overhead, but it's very invisible. It's near that actually new Canadian flag decal. The American flags have been up for a while, but the Canadian flags only went up after Leda Lanes hosted the Worlds most recently.
How about a 7-10 split? That's not a headpin hit, Greg.
Yep. Just the ring.
All right, the headpin is halfway on the lip of the plate to the plate.
Seems hopelessly vertical.
You know what? This is not a good piece of wood. But with the way Paul's ball works, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get
From the angle, trying it, and it sent off to both sides. It actually didn't deflect enough.
It did jump. I didn't think it would. Puts 8 on the strike. And that's going to be no good.
Can only count that 8, I'm afraid. It was pretty looking, though. What a fantastic string, 119. Yep, they're adjusting the scoreboard now.
So it's 222 to 212 in favor of Paul. 10 pins is the difference. All right, Greg, I'll be back. I'm almost up.
Sounds good. Real quick, before they bring it back here, 119 to 100, so there's that 19 pin swing. You can see the margin up here as well, so 9 for Little becomes 19 for Metivier. And here comes string 3 with the match tied at 2 match points apiece. Jeff Little, the 1, 3, 9, and 10. Well, back and forth between the two gentlemen. Like I mentioned, their last encounter last year was a 2-pin affair. Spare off the wall, 1, 3, 10. Takes the 9 as well. Another starting spare. Actually, 4 of the 5 initial boxes between these bowlers have been spares. Little hit pin, 6, 7, 10. Trying to spin the wood into the red line, only went to the right side. And a 9 box. 26 through 2. Jeff Little has had 3 12-2 matches. Both the other 12-2 results came versus his division rivals, Justin Rodier and Stephen Post, in fact. Yes, that same Stephen Post, whose name getting name dropped a lot because of the implications for him. 5-pin drops for a strike. Second mark in 3 boxes. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Jeff Little off to a hot start. Last time he did this, he actually had a mark in 4 as well and got a 20 box out of it. This time he's got 2 balls with which to accomplish it. He's been going at a 106 average to the early going. The 100 string held him back, but this one very unlikely to be this low. On a strike fill in the 4th, half Worcester to begin. Second ball nicks that head pin very thin, but look at the dominoes tumble, and he's got 8 on the strike fill. 44 through 3. They'll have to update that. We'll see if he's tempted by the wood. He is, and unfortunately the ball deflects in front of everything and cannot get 10. He's got 8. Seemed quite an aggressive try on that 3rd ball, but boy, it looked tempting. Looked as though the angle of the wood could have possibly taken it, but it just didn't. 10 pins up for Metivier going into string number 3. Jeff Little 52 through 4 as the visiting bowler out of Harvard Lanes. 3 pins taken out, first one. Seven pins to pick up. Had some trouble with this previously. Better second ball this time. 6, 7, 10 for the out. Got a back and forth one going this time. Little riding the rails. Dodged the wood. Got 8. For a 60 half. 2-mark half. A reminder of the stakes we're playing for here. Paul Metivier, remember, is in the thick of a wild card race at the moment right now with Stephen Post. Jeff Little is in the midst of a divisional race with Stephen Post. Little cannot lose the division tonight, certainly, especially after he takes those 2 points. Metivier, the better he does above average, the higher he goes in the wild card. It's that simple. He's dropped 9 to start with a wobbling 4-pin. Tell you what, that was pretty close. Have I been to Harvard Lanes? Oh yeah, I was the official scorer for the Atlanta Candlepin Singles Tour, and Jeff Little was alongside me for that. Ball spares. And now 5 of the 6 initial frames have been marked. Paul, all 3 of his. Jeff, 2 of his 3. This is the Atlanta Candlepin Singles Tour, live from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Hisville lost it to the right, and it's a half Worcester for 2. Had 8 fills in the previous 2. That's how the averages go sometimes. Average spare fill, we estimated it's about 6.5. Actually, the first time he's had a fill other than 8 all game long. And though he's disappointed by that glancing headpin hit, got a chance to take 8. And he can really blast it back. Looks as though the plank's covering it on 29 and 30. 29 on the left side, trying to spin the wood, and unfortunately nothing doing. It spins around the 2-pin, doesn't really get turning to really go across into the 610. 6 box it is. Jeff Little spotted 2 marks in that first half. Metivier diamond, skinny on the head pin. 3, 5, 6, and 9. In there, off the wall spare! Tangled up the 6 and 9. And now Paul Metivier's turn to go 2 marks in the first 3. 28 in a ball through 3. He'll need another mark to match Little's pace of the first half. Out left, but has the 1-3-6. He's got a fill of 7. $35 through 3. He's back 9 box to box in this string. Comes in with a 10-pin advantage. So, again, we're starting to have perilous margins here. Sent the wood this way and that, missed the head pin. 2 marks for both, but Jeff Little with that strike 8 is ahead. The box is 9 for Paul Metivier. $44 through 4. Kevin Burns has been in and out. He's up on the lanes right now. Maybe we'll get to see him for a bit, or you'll hear from him in just a bit. This is the Atlanta Candlepin Singles Tour, rebroadcasted later on Candlepin Bowling Network. Into the head pin, that is demolished. Paul Metivier, a 3-mark half. And now with a chance to make the string close as well. Had some trouble finding the head pin the first few times around. $60 versus $54 plus 2 at the half. Little rips out just a 2-pin for a quarter Worcester. Little ahead by 6 pins minus a couple of balls. The Paul Metivier likely ahead at the string, which would be good news for him and his 10-pin advantage. That is official per the overhead scoreboard. 1, 5, 7, and 9 for the out. Little, yes, grabs the head pin, and he's got a good angle on it. Wood's threatening to take the 7. It will not. And Little will give up on it and press the button. 8. 68 through 6. I'm going to sneak the score sheet up here real lickety split because I didn't do it the last box. And there you go. Into the head pin goes Little. 7-pin forwards, maybe? Anywhere, maybe? Or 7. And Wood in front. This one looks pretty good. To the blank, to cover, yes. 3rd mark of the string for Little. 78 and a ball through 7. Vincetter's getting set there. So that's the mark Jeff Little really needed to start challenging Metivier for the string. Paul will still have to fill this. Jeff Little's strongest string all season has been the third one. There's the power. But the 5-pin, okay, it falls eventually, but did fall the wrong way. Now he's going to have to find some way to get the 7-8 to go as he racks up an 8 fill on the spare. 86 through 7. Here's try. Trampoline, nope. Ball deflected back. Did not make it to the 8-pin. Nine box. $95 through 8. Can pin out 115. If he gets another mark, we can bust into the 120s. In the last match, nobody went south of 101. That was last year's match between these two gentlemen. Jeff Little out of Harvard Lanes has the 1, 3, and 7. There is a plank sort of in front of the 7, but it is rolling forward, so now less and less helpful to the shot. With Little's angle on the ball, oh no, the wood stopped the shot. And you see the frustration there. He thought he had the angle perfect. Whoa, shut down on that cruelly by the wood, deflecting the action away. That should be fair for a 10, and that's 105 through 9 if so. I wasn't worried about that piece of wood, quips Jeff. 105 through 9. So he's 15 over his box. Remember, Metivier is 4 over his box and a half, but with a strike. So this is really close. 410. That corner's just not going anywhere, I'm afraid. Is the wood going to ramp into the 10, mayhaps? He's got a piece in the middle there. Little's try. Found the gap somehow. Oh no, the wood was there. What do you know? And a 9. Just a 110 box in that string for Little, but 3 marks critically. 114 for the string. So Metivier needs another mark atop whatever he gets here. Although if he dumps a spare on the strike, actually, he now has a chance to go for the win without any more marks. Needs good count here to start. Got his pocket, and it's a double strike. 5 and 6 with strikes for Paul Metivier. And now the follow-up, the most critical part. Tell you what, there's a big what-if about that Keith Beaupre 479 triple he threw the Friday Night Pro League, I should say. What if he had filled that first strike with more than 22? It's this next ball that Metivier is going to throw that really determines the worth of a double strike. But 479 Beaupre's high triple. Want to see more thrilling Friday Night Pro League action? We're back at Academy Lanes. Academy 1 versus Academy 3. On a double strike, dropped into the right side. The mix is good, though, and the fill is 16 on the first one. It's a 70 half, and Metivier up 10. At this half, growing the match lead. Trying to grab sticks, he does. No spare, but a 9 fill on the second one. 89 through 6 for a stick. Good, 99 through 7. Just a quick update on how the double strike match shook out. He has a chance to pin out 129 without a mark. Well, I sure said he needed another mark, and he delivered in a big way. How much higher will he go? On the right side of the lane, has that tendency from time to time we've seen, but 1, 2, 7, and 8, far from impossible. Now he's really going to have to get it out there to grab this one. Over through the slot, 1-8. Metivier looking to grow his lead. Grabs a 9 box out of that. 108 through 8. Highly probable to have won this string. An essential certainty, folks, of course, as you know. So he'll have the next 2 points. He'll be up 4-2 in this match. In terms of match points. And remember, he wants to go as far above average as he can to raise his standing in the wild card race. 4 to start. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which works out to 3 pins if the commentator could count. Just the 8 pin, he needs an out. Jeff Little, 326 through 3. Ball's north of that, but he's got a 4 box. Little had a 4 of his own, so we're even Steven in that regard. Technically needs 3 pins mathematically, but this string is cinched with 2 more to go. How much further ahead will Paul go? He's ahead 10. A 10 box will put him up more. Now he's got a 7 pin. And a chance to go into the 130s. And where's the wood going? My goodness, it's going to run into the 7. It will not drop it immediately, but gives Paul Metivier a big chance. He's covered it. 122 in a ball. A great hit and some fortune. Ahead by 10. He's going to win this by 8 plus this. His fill. Crushed. Maybe a little thin, I guess, or full. Yeah, I suppose we'll go with full on that one. 6 pins more. 128 for Paul Metivier. There we are. The power of the double strike in full swing. 128 to 114. And 350 to 326 is the confirmed score as Jeff Little gets back up on lane 29. Four to 2 on match points. Strike to begin. And again, another hot start for these 2 bowlers. 6 of 7 of their initial frames have been marks. So a strike in the first to begin for Little. He's back 24. I can't help but think that double strike must be on his mind a little bit. But he's got his head pin this time. Does not double in his case, and the 5-9-10's got some interesting wood. It turned quite a bit. In fact, I think he's asking the audience on this one. Turns to his back and saying, where do I play this one? The right piece turned towards the 10. He's off the left piece, and it spins behind the 5. The strike fill is 9. So a strike first, a 10 box second, and it's 29 for the pair. Hottest start by any bowler, in fact, 29 through 2. Jeff's got this one off target, but he's got the 1-3-10. It's an old chestnut. Your ball takes it. But if you can curl around with that cross lane delivery, he'll get all the way over to the right hand lane and bury the 1-3 into the 10 for his second mark in 3. $39 through 3. Little looking to erase a 24-pin deficit. He's already got 9 bonus pins at this very early stage. Here we are in lanes 29 and 30. See the classic TV lanes 33 and 34, where Candlepin Skins has their shows. Big Mix 9, 48 through 3. Can he keep the momentum up? Jeff Little on the 6 pin. Just to the left. Second single goes begging, but still a monster string. Metivier got 4, arguably 5 marks if you consider the double strike basically counts more. 9 boxes, 57 through 4 for Jeff Little. Paul Metivier, a 116 average in this first 3 strings. Little north of 108. 4 Horsemen, nice mix. Washed out 6 on the left side. 57 through 4, this is box 5. Little trying to curl it in there much like he did before, but overthrew it. Trying for the out. Into the 3-6-10, nice sticks. 9 is fine. 66 half to go along with the 67 half he started this match with.
Not usually, I'm pretty accurate. Not tonight.
Might have overheard that.
Right.
66 at the half. Paul Metivier, if he goes 8 and 6, tie Stephen Poster. Wild card. Guess what? He's got another strike. His 5th tonight. And that's 7 of 8 boxes. 7 of 8 starting boxes between these two bowlers with marks. On a strike. Wants to replicate the result. My goodness, he nearly did. 6 pin denies another double. And now the same pin that Little missed. Uh-oh. It's either going to be a running choke or a... Oh, no, I guess it is. The fill is 9 on the strike. Either side of it, that's 9. Actually, Gregory, that would be the same side of it. League's in full swing on both sides of the house, so basically all 36 lanes here at Leda Lanes in use, more or less. Including one alongside, but good bowling courtesy. Make sure there's never an issue. 2, 6, 7, 8, 10. For those who don't know what I mean, it's the right-of-way rule in effect, where the bowler on the right should go first if both of you are ready at the same time. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to go ball for ball in all cases, just if you're both ready to go. It's called right-of-way, not left-of-way. Just if you're ever alongside a bunch of people, the place is crowded. Worth keeping in mind to those of you newer bowlers out there. Looking for sticks in the split, can't get any of them, and that's going to be a 5 box. $33 through 3. Remember, Little was 48 through 3 with those 2 marks to start, so giving away a few pins there. Little has a chance to really cut into this 24-pin lead that Metivier has. 1 and 3, nice break here. Metivier had all the head pins up to that point. In he goes. Perfect. Second mark of the string. So he's matched both of the marks Little had. Little filled both of his with 9. Metivier's filled his first strike with 9. What about this one? Little right of where he'd usually drop it, but he got over there, grabbed a piece of the head pin. But the result of that thin hit is that none of the left 3 columns were touched in the fill of 6. 49 through 4, down 8 box to box. His try, trying to spin the wood forward after missing the 2-pin, of course. Grabs sticks, though, that's critical. Because now he cannot be down more than single digits. Can't grab this one, but he's got 9 for a 58 half. And here it is. 66 half plays 58 half. So Little has gained 8 pins so far, but remember, he's down 24. So he's still got some work to do, but in this penultimate string, he still has the racetrack with which to do it. Metivier up 4-2 on match points, 2 points to the winner of each string and 4 for total. 3 pins taken out first for Jeff Little. Little looking to grow his B North 1 divisional lead right now. Good stick second ball, left the 4-7. Nice recovery balls. He's got a 10. That's the power of the third ball so many preach. I mentioned their last encounter was a 2-pin affair. This one could still tighten to such a point. Any ties quite simply split the points at this stage. Boy, I tell you what, that looked more like a pocket shot than that. I guess it hit the 1-2 in retrospect. 7-8. But the pin action was pretty, wasn't it, folks? He'll try to leverage the wood. Now it's a good try for it. Oh, it ramped only into the 8-pin. You'd have to really hope the ball would get to the right side of the 8-pin, but I suppose the angle off the wood makes it possible. Narrowly misses that pin, and he gets a 9. '85 through 7. If Metivier goes markless in the back half, Little should win anyway. But a half Worcester. Thought I saw a pin get nudged back there. It might just be my imagination. I think scoring conditions have gone up slightly at Leda lanes, but that does not make this an easy house. 1, 4, 7, and 9. The pins were replaced for one of the previous Easter Classics, in fact. And their third ball just grabs one more pin for a 7. 92 through 8, he's plus 12 on his box. Metivier is plus 8 on his box. So Little wants to be a little careful he doesn't give away too many more. Because now Paul's got the chance to win maybe with just one more mark at this stage. Unless Little can get one here, but gadzooks, what is that? It's the 8-9. Piece of wood is looking right at the 9, but this will require quite some turn in this fourth string of 5. Little's try. Over curled it, he'll need a third ball. 12 over versus 8 over. Little bites the rail, gets a stick. 9. .101 through 9. On pace for a performance bang on his average. Unfortunately for him, Paul Metivier's been above average to this point. Spread eagle now. What a time for that. Now pinning crucial. Cruel to say, considering he got the head pin. didn't complete his curling motion, didn't get it all the way out there, and lost it in the right gutter. Third ball is coming up. Into the 6-pin for 5, and the string is 106. So unfortunately, what's now resulted with the pin loss is that Paul Metivier technically does not need a mark at all now to win this string. He probably will, considering the difficulty of getting 10s even on command. Obviously, it's gettable, but so brutal there. 3 splits in that string. If Paul Metivier doesn't get a mark, he needs to get 48 pins to tie and 49 to win. So realistically, he probably needs one, especially now that he's got a tough pinning puzzle here. 3-1 split. Went almost low on the wood. Would have been really tough to imagine how that deflects across the floor, but maybe we'll see a third ball around. You're watching the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I'm Greg Gouillart, rebroadcasting later at Candlepin Bowling Network. Interesting, it deflected high and only got 2 pins for an 8. Paul Metivier 5 for 6 on the headpin in this string, but now needs a mark. Pretty much as we imagined, though, folks. Almost dropped it right in the right gutter there. 3 pins out. He was oh so close there. Are both bowlers throwing that cross-lane delivery? You worry about that. But I am an anxiety armadillo. That may just be me. Into the 2-pin it goes. Woods coming forwards, maybe trying to help out this resultant's 1-6-10. There's an argument for going safe to the right, perhaps, but the wood seems dicey. And that's a perfect 10. As it happens, it connected perfectly. A sweet escape. All 10 boxes through the next 3 would tie the string, incidentally. And maybe give Metivier a chance for another 7-7 like he had against John Cadiro. Into the 3-pin he goes. 8-pin. Yeah, that should be gone back there. 4 horsemen left side. Opposite his usual angle of attack, he'll have to get into the 1-2. Nice try. In there, off the wall, but around the 4-pin. No mark. Has to grab this pin if he wants to stay on this path of all 10s all the way. Overthrows it, and now he needs a mark for anything. 9 box, 85 through 8. Jeff Little clocked out with 106 after his 4th string. Scores are official, by the way. Metivier needs a mark. It's as simple as that in the next 2. Into the 4-pin just, but the 7-pin cluster does offer a chance. Back and forth this match goes. 4 horsemen right for the 3rd ball. Just peeling back one layer of the onion, left to right. And they slice and dice this one. Metivier on the outside of the headpin got 3 of the 4. So it offers him a pretty darn good chance, I'll say. But he must mark in this upcoming 10th box to get any points at all. If he does not, he still leads in the 20s, surely. But it'll be a 4-4 match coming down to this final string. His last chance at a mark now. Offers the 1, 2, 4, and 10. That pin on the left we don't worry about. The 3 and 1 that we see here, he will. Every single point pivotal to Metivier's playoff future as he's involved in a race for the bubble against Stephen Post. His try. Just around the headpin, and again Little wins as it came down to the 10th box. Little was dismayed with how that 106 goes, but it's a perfect result for him. The box is 8, and the string is 102 for Metivier. It is a 20-pin match now. 4-5-2 plays 4-3-2. Paul Metivier still in front there. Even though the markless back half sank him in string number 4, you see the result here. If I zoom out just a little bit, you can see that. Jeff Little's about to get up, so start your reading quickly, folks. See a few splits on each side as well, making the scoring tough. On lane 29 for this final string, Jeff Little has 20 pins to make up to run down this total. Trying to run down Dave Chestercove's favor, the 4-2 washout, but unfortunately the 6, the 4, and the 10. They'll go for the 2 on the right side. That's prudent pinning. Darn near sliced it. In fact, I'm not convinced that doesn't make the 6-8-10, maybe the 6-7-10. Time to start, only the second time we haven't seen a bowler start on a mark. Box 2, into the 2-pin it goes, 6-1. If you like this video, please like the video by hitting that thumbs up button if you're logged into the platform of choice, either Atlantic Candlepin Single Store on Facebook or Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube later on. Great to have you along either way. Third ball's coming up as the second one hit curtain. Jeff Little got his head pin, 1 and out. 3 becomes 10. (19-2). Middle there, we've seen the 5 and 4 boxes from time to time pop up. Only a few times, really. Little was unhappy he left a dozen pins standing in that last one, but got the result he wanted. It's a good result here. He's got a 10 pin, which is going to be really tough because that might force him to change his usual angle of attack. Riding the rail, yes, that's a spare. You see him fist pump. A fair call in effect. 29 on the ball through 3. The visitor out of Harvard Lanes in Massachusetts. Gorgeous place. Host of last year's Atlantic Candlepin Single Store Playoffs. Spare fill, just 3. Seven-pin cluster, just 2 flew away. Boy. 1 and 2. Trying to come back from 20 down going into this string. But now at 3 fill, what's the follow-up going to be? Again, a good third ball. Almost spun across. So technically a profit, 21 pins to the last 2 boxes. (40-4), back to par. We need Paul to really fall off for a chance at total now, though. Unless he marks here. But the 4-6-10 makes it nigh impossible? Or is that the commentator putting the cart before the horse? Let's find out. Into the right side of it, but nothing came left. When the wood spun, it just was trapped by the 6-10 and just had no chance for the 4. What chance did Jeff have? Who knows? But that's a quality 10 for a 50 half. Divisional implications. Again, both bowlers are 4 and 4 at this stage right now. So Little's got a few points, and he's really... But a chance for Paul Metivier to go 10 and 4. With this 20-pin advantage, he holds. He starts with the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. One, two. Oh, my goodness. 6-pin, not into the 10. And a 10. Only the first time Paul Metivier didn't start with a mark. If Metivier goes 10 and 4, he would be 111 and 99, and he would be a clear 2 points ahead of Stephen Post, and now on the right side of the playoff bubble. If he takes the last 6, he's got his head pin. He's got the 2-4. Little's only mark was a spare 3, but only left 3 standing in that first half. Just missed the 2-pin, Metivier did. "36 beautiful, gorgeous wooden lanes here at Leda Lanes. Wherever they may go, a lot of love in this place, I mean to say. As Paul Metivier gets a 9. And I wish the Leda Lane staff, wherever they may go, as mentioned, that letter on the Leda Lanes Facebook page best explains the current situation. And they deserve all the love and support in the world, even if it may not come from the landlord class. Strike! Paul Metivier again, hammering 10. So 29 plus 2 through 3. For his 6th strike of the night. Got his head pin. You saw the body language there. He wanted another double. That would have been his second one. He's got the 4, 6, 10 staring back. We've seen that one a few times. Remember, he's on a strike fill. The safe shot would be to go right in this case. He's going to inspect the wood as you see him step up. Nice try. On the right side, going for a safer fill. Didn't quite get both. The fill is 8. $37 through 3 now in 9 box, 46 through 4. That puts him 6 ahead of Little box to box. Kevin Burns alongside. Kevin, your lane's challenging as well. It looks like it's starting to challenge these bowlers a bit as well.
Can't get anything to break.
Metivier just did right on cue. These pins have a gosh darn sense of humor, don't they? 56 plus 2.5 for Paul Metivier.
Seven strikes for Paul, I believe.
7 strikes. Where there were 6, there must be 7. Isn't that true? Scores real quick. 56 plus 2.5. So again, Paul Metivier ahead already by 20 in the match is now a good favor to go 10-4 in this match. It had been back and forth.
We're in game 5.
Yep. Jeff Little has been rattled by the breaks he's gotten there. He's going to have to dial in these last 5 to salvage something. Got his head pin, but he's going to be dismayed again by the result of 3-2 split.
3, 6, 10 on the left, on the right. 4, 7 on the left. Piece of wood in between the 4 and the 7. Piece up the 6 10.
Got a couple of pins. He's looking over. One bowler just did the biggest lob ever, but I didn't catch it on camera. It's not my business anyway, so I think that's just as well. Little got an 8 box.
That kind of threw him off a little bit.
I didn't catch it. You're welcome again.
Little in the pocket. Oh, drops 3. A weird
On what? Sorry?
I thought that was going to be a lemon drop, but it looked like it was going in the pocket.
7-pin cluster, this can go. He's on it, but it's full. It's just Elaine is just completely disagreeing with his angle of attack tonight, it seems. The ball just curling in flat. Now doesn't make it over to the 3-pin for an $8. So really, I guess what's happening is Little's ball is breaking just a little bit too early, and thus it's going through the face of the head pin rather than into the 1-3 pocket where he'd want to live.
I think it's breaking a little too...
So maybe by getting it a little more out, now he's hit it full again and it's a 4-1 split. So much easier said than done.
It is.
But I think if he watches this back, it might be the case.
That's the check mark.
Mark Milliken's here, hello. Check mark. Oh. And again, maybe it broke a little too early on that one as well. Go figure. Because he overcut it. 9.
It's a good night right there. It's a quality night.
Object, object, object. 75 through 8. As it stands, Metivier doesn't need a mark for anything. Little has 2 boxes left with which to make a splash. A 115 string would challenge it. He'd need a 20 box, and he had one before. Does he get the strike now? Yes, he does.
Delay a game. He raised up his arm saying it's about time.
Hallelujah. Well, I tell you.
Let's just say the Candlepin. Let's just say, Greg, the Candlepin guys have not been present tonight here at Leda Links. They've been present for Paul, but not for anybody else.
Well, if you're relying on Candlepins for any sense of reliability, you're going to have a bad time. But a strike now gives Little a chance to actually challenge for this string if he could get a spare on it or more. He's seen a double happen in his face. He gets 7, and he's got triangle number 4. First triangle I recall seeing maybe ever. Tonight, anyway, I mean to say.
4, 7, 8.
There's try. Looks in there, but he's overthrown it a bit. And
He didn't overthrow it. He just hit the object a little too full.
Just a little too full. Just a little too full. 9 fill, 10 box.
Well, that's a good one. For 104.
He's got a 104. This is not a foregone conclusion on the string. For the match, it is.
For 5.
Making sure I got my dots and crosses there. Get my finger out of the way so you folks can see it. Metivier does not need a mark for this.
Well, he's working on his,
104 through 5. That's that bottom one you see there.
working on his strike. A good field.
Yep.
It is. It is.
Little Pavoni had a string of 3 splits through 4 boxes as well. All filling the strike. 6 to begin.
He's looking at over 60 half. Makes sense. He has a 70 half.
The prudent thing, make sure you get your sticks there. He's ahead by 20 going into the string. He got his head pin. My goodness, I thought he had a chance to make that. The fill is 864 half.
Nothing to sneeze at.
Into the cap 8.
Kind of logged that a little bit, but it did go.
Obviously, he'll have wanted the pins there, but the wood took it for 10. 74 through 6. Note to self, Gregory, get a clipboard.
Okay, yes, I had one in the bus.
Pity. 4 boxes to go. Needs 30 pins in 4 boxes. That should be an easy feat. How about the 10 pin? Get over, gone!
Jeff should have said just throw another strike. And of course, the piece of wood takes up to 10.
8 strikes. Can you believe it for Paul Metivier tonight?
That's going to put him...
And Jeff Little wants a piece of that action.
Jeff Little, that's going to put... I believe with the amount of points he won, that's going to put him well into a wire.
10-4. Yes, Paul Metivier should be in contention for the wild card now. The resetting there, but yes, a 10-4 for Paul Metivier puts him at 111.99 if indeed the result holds, and he would pass Stephen Post for that wild card. His 8th strike fill of the night. Missed the headpin for a change. He's got 3 on the first one.
Closer to 5 on the right, in the 4-7 on the left. Play number 1. There it goes.
What a great shot that is. 7-pin pickup for Metivier. He just keeps on going for $20.
That was, as Paul Gant would say, that's a wild time right there. I mean, a wild spear.
Wow.
20 on a strike.
104 and a ball through 8.
This is just crazy.
And the former Class C champions just taking out the rally towel at this point, quite literally, off camera. On the spare fill, it's 7.
7 more. 111 after 8.
Yep, we could go 130s. It's triangle number 2.
Nah, he
Overthrown.
threw it away. He knew it too. Jeff Little was like, really? There he goes.
There's the 2-pinner. I guess it wasn't there, so they say.
No.
Mathematically won everything, 120 through 9.
10 more for 130.
That 7-pin comeback was huge for the string score.
In the pocket.
Into the headpin, the 9, and the 5 hit, but the nickel and dime stare back, and the wood disappears into the right gutter.
He does have a piece of wood next to the 5-pin break. He has to cut it. Well, he went right into the upright.
Yeah, that was on the edge there.
It was.
Never mind. And
it's
he's
a
got
129.
a 129 to go with a 128. Final result, 536 to 581. I'll write that down real quick. And there we go. There's the final result, folks. Feast your eyes on those other 2 strings by Paul Metivier, the 3rd and 5th. 128 and 129. He throws a 116 average for some serious home cooking, 10 and 4 against Jeff Little, who got stymied by splits, had some opportunities as well, and ends up with a 536 for about a 106 average, 107 average. Don't shortchange it. But there we have it. 8 strikes for Paul Metivier on the evening, including that double strike in the 3rd string. And there's the result, 10 and 4. So one more look again. So for Jeff Little, who goes 4 and 10, he now has a record of 118 and 92. So he's 9 points ahead of Stephen Post as both these bowlers go into the final 3 weeks of intra-divisional play and a chance to renew these rivalries. Excuse me. And see who makes it in. Remember, all 4 division winners make it through, and all the top 4 wildcards over here, which now includes Paul Metivier and excludes Stephen Post for the time being, by 2 points. Paul Metivier now 111 and 99. So 2 points ahead. So that's going to do it for us, I'd imagine. Congratulations to Paul Metivier on a fantastic 10-4 win. Anything to add, Kevin, before I click this off for the folks?
Well, be sure to tune in on Friday for the game of the week at Academy 1 and Academy 3, I believe. Am I right?
Yes, indeed.
That will
We
be...
have this on there? Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
So,
Friday night, Academy 1 versus Academy 3. That'll be at Academy Lanes. You're there. You're there as well.
And that's going to be you and Paul on the call. I'll try and show up to give Paul.
There's room at Academy. We'll see. But, That, and then the Easter Classic as well, April 20th, here at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire.
And also the live show coming up at Buckles
May 3rd,
on May 3rd.
out in Elsconker, New Hampshire.
So stay tuned for the rest of the regular season for the singles tour. Continue watching the Friday Night Pro League. You have Easter Classic coming up and the live show coming up.
3 weeks left, essentially, in the regular season of the ACST, and then playoffs time, where those top 8 in each division or each conference will make it through.
Yeah. So for my partner, I'm Kevin Burns.
I'm Greg Gouillart. Thanks so much for watching this presentation of the Atlanta Candlepin Single Store, rebroadcast on Candlepin Bowling Network, and until next time, so long.